We've got a big story for you all about the Galaxy Z Flip 6 and Fold 6 because it might release earlier than we thought. Remember, Unpacked happens July 10th in Paris, which is only about 2 weeks away, more or less. And usually after that, they start the pre-order the same day, and then 2 weeks later, they usually do the release. So I was expecting the official release to be about July, I think it was 26th. Let me check my calendar again. July 26th, but it looks like it might happen earlier, which is absolutely insane. So check this out. This story coming from ET News over in Korea saying that the Galaxy Z Fold 6 series is coming. Expectations for a rise in sales in the used phone industry are solid. That according to the industry on the 24th, June 24th, Samsung will hold a Galaxy Unpacked event in Paris, France on the 10th of July and unveil the Z Flip 6 and Fold 6. Considering that Samsung has had a week-long pre-sale period and a 3-day pre-opening period, after unveiling a new product, the official product release date is expected to be around the 21st or 22nd. Now, I want to talk about that because when I look at my calendar, July 21st is a Sunday. It's not going to happen on that day because they don't do deliveries. 22nd will be a Monday. So if the official release date is July 22nd, which I'll be really shocked if it is because they've always done them on Fridays, official release dates, and then pushed it forward. Usually you'll get your phone earlier. But if the official release date's the 22nd, then I would guess that the phones could start arriving as early as the week of the 15th, which would be, again, absolutely insane. So you're thinking July 15th through the 19th, and then from there, you might have some phones that fall in. If they do release it on the 22nd, maybe you'll get it the 23rd or 24th. But my thought on the whole thing is it probably still will, if I had to put my money down on something, I would guess it's still gonna be July 26th for the release date. If not, I would think the official release date would be July 19th, because if they usually don't, like I said, do them on Sundays or Mondays, and if they do it the 19th, you're gonna get it between the 15th and the 19th. Would be a full week before, and it would almost be a full month before the Galaxy Z Fold 5 was released last year. So crazy times going on here with the actual release date and when it could happen. But we should know something probably by tomorrow, and I'll leave it at that. So we'll find out though. We have a very exciting day of tech news for you. We're gonna start it off with the new products coming from Samsung at Samsung Unpacked and how they have some special looking features built into them, and I want to go through this. This tweet comes from Ice Universe saying that the brand new Galaxy Watch Ultra and Buds 3 are designed by Hubert Lee. You can see some details full on his personal style, which is avant-garde, and he shows off this other tweet saying that the Galaxy Buds 3 designed by Hubert Lee have a light on the earphones, which looks very cyberpunk. Do you remember the Mercedes-Benz headlights he designed? So the light that goes on the Buds 3 is probably gonna be not just like a little dot like you see on a lot of other Buds, but an actual cool looking design. And this is interesting because now we might see in this upcoming generation of products more and more differences than we have in the past due to some new designers looking like they are finally taking over what's been in the pipeline for a couple of years now. Now that's really, really exciting. You look at the Galaxy Watch Ultra now, and that's got a really different design, more so than any watch I've personally ever seen. So I'm liking the direction some of these products are going in, and it's just a matter of time before more and more products from Samsung take that leap of faith and have a brand new design, especially versus what the competition's putting out. Now, Google Pixel 9 and 9 Pro and Google Pixel Fold phones usually don't come out until October. Well, the Pixel Pro Fold, whatever you want to call it, usually comes out in the spring or early summer. But we've heard all those phones were going to come out in October, and it looks like that is incorrect. They're getting pushed up a couple of months in advance. Instead of October, they're coming out in August. This is the officially from Google, where they're announcing that August 13th event for the Pixel 9 phones and Pixel Watch 3. The invite that went out says you're invited to an in-person Made by Google event where we'll showcase the best of Google AI Android software and Pixel portfolio of devices. So basically, you can see they're going to promote AI, Android software, and Pixel portfolio of devices. They're not going to be putting out just the Pixel Watch. They're not going to just put out the regular Pixel 9. They're going to put all their Pixel devices out. That means the Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, Pixel Fold, or it's probably going to be called the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, or Pixel Fold 2 if you want to call it that, the Pixel Watch 3, the maybe Pixel Buds we'll see, and maybe I would assume some kind of Pixel tag as well, kind of like we have Samsung tags and Apple tags. But this is really, really cool stuff. Having it this far in advance, especially putting it in line with what Samsung does, with Samsung releasing their phone in July. It's only a month later, so you don't have to wait that long. And Samsung, let's be honest, will probably still have some nice deals going on at that point. And what this does though with Google is it allows them, because their next processor is supposed to be really, really powerful, especially compared to what they've been putting out with the Tensor. They're switching over to TSMC versus what they've been using with Samsung, and it's supposed to be a big jump in performance. To add on to that, they're gonna have more headway to go into the season of winter, where you have all these deals going on with Black Friday and Christmas and so on and so forth. They're gonna have months to have the phone at regular price and then get pushed into the holiday season, offering some really nice deals. So I'm loving this because I don't have to wait as long now to get a Pixel Fold 2. I'm gonna start it off just as a reminder: Galaxy Z Fold 6, Flip 6, Galaxy Ring, Galaxy Watch Ultra, and Galaxy Watch 9, and Galaxy Buds 3, 3 Pro. There's a bunch of devices launching, and if you want to get in on the reservation, it's linked down below in the pinned comment, and it's also in the description of the video. Take advantage, up to $1,500 in trade-ins, up to $50 in credits, probably more than that once you actually pre-order it as well, and you're basically guaranteed a place in line when you order the phone. So why not take advantage? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain, and it supports what I do as a creator of this channel and on YouTube. So, link down below. Without further ado though, our big story of the day has to do with the Pixel Fold. If you remember, was it yesterday, that Samsung officially announced the launch of Pixel devices that will be launched on August 13th. Now, August 13th is literally a month and a half away or so. And that is really, really soon. And you're gonna have a tough decision. Do you go with the Pixel Fold 2? Do you go with the Galaxy Z Fold 6? Pixel Fold 2 should have 16 gigs of RAM, but has a Tensor G4 processor versus a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. 8 Gen 3 is definitely gonna be more faster than that. And then also it's just more powerful and raw day-to-day benchmarks, but both on a day-to-day usage case are gonna be speedy, fast, and very near, you won't even be able to tell them apart, more or less, just day-to-day operation. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the actual release date, because as you know, with these launch dates, we don't always get a release date. We get when we know it's gonna launch, which we know it's gonna be August 13th, which is 2 months basically earlier than they did in the past. Now the Pixel Fold 2, and just like every other Pixel device, especially on the phone side, usually launches about a week later. From what I've seen, the past couple of years, they've launched on Thursdays a week after the launch date. They did that with the Pixel 8 phones, they did that with the Pixel 7 phones, and I really highly expect the same with the Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, and 9 Pro Fold, or Pixel Fold 2, whatever they end up calling it. And the reason being that would be is, again, because of past performance. Usually these companies do the same thing year over and year out. So if that happens to be true, it's gonna end up being August 22nd would be the release date for all those Pixel 9 phones, and probably the watches, and if they come out with earbuds as well. But definitely those devices should launch on about August 22nd, which is incredibly soon, especially when you're used to waiting until October. Now, why could they be doing this? It's pretty easy to think about why they would want to do it. It's a few reasons I mentioned yesterday, that they are going to be able to launch their new processors in August of next year. so it would make sense. Also, the newest version of Android comes out in about August or September, so they'll be able to launch with that or near launch with it. Then they have their competition. Obviously, we know the Samsung phones from the Fold and the Flip come out in July now. They used to come out in August. So they want to push that up so they can kind of compete with that phone. And also they pushed out the launch already, so that these, if a customer is really paying attention, they're going to know that the launch is right around the corner. And then there's more phones, don't forget. There's the iPhones. iPhones launch in September, and you know, when you're waiting all the way till October and there's two major companies launching really good phones before you, iPhone and Samsung, then you might want to push that up. So now Google sits right in the middle of a little bit after the Samsung launch, a little bit before the iPhone launch, and then you also remember OnePlus launches phones, Motorola. There's all these companies launching phones in and around those times, but then they also have the fortune to also be able to take advantage of a ton of holiday sales. They've got the back to school sales, they've got Thanksgiving, they've got Christmas, they've got New Year's. Then the phone's getting older quicker into the new year, so they can end up reducing the cost even more. So they have a bunch of ways to sell these phones, and they have a bunch of competition that they're trying to compete with and better place themselves inside of that. And you know, that's a major thing. So overall, I think it's really smart. August 22nd sounds like a good day to me, and it gives me more time to look forward to and play with looking like a really, really cool folding phone. And those phones in general, Pixel 9 phones, are really, really good phones. They were last year, I enjoyed them. Still great cameras. They haven't made big leaps and bounds in camera quality from a couple years ago to now, but it's still, in my eyes, really, really good photos to be taken with. And when I do take photos with it, people are generally like, oh my God, those photos came out amazing. So I've got a lot of news stories for you and really important stuff to talk about. The first story has to do with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, if you remember the Galaxy S24 Ultra, it had a kind of flat display. So flat that some people didn't like it. I like it, I'm cool with it, but it looks like Samsung is gonna go back to the curved display. Maybe not super curved, but definitely more curved than the S24 Ultra. The latest news coming from Ice Universe is that he can confirm 100% that the S25 Ultra will not crush your palm again. It's really rounded. And by really rounded, I hope he doesn't mean like Galaxy S7 Edge rounded. That was like too sharp and rounded. I didn't like that. Hopefully it's something really comfortable and cool and different, but I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't make the display seem small either, because those curved displays do seem a little bit smaller than the flat displays. But this is early days, obviously. S25 Ultra won't even be out until January, which is still, I guess it's not even that far away anymore. It's like 5-6 months away at this point. We'll keep our eyes peeled on this as more S25 Ultra news comes out. I will definitely let you guys know. Next up is a really cool patent about the Galaxy Z Fold 7 potentially, and how the whole display on the front and in the inside displays could be fingerprint friendly. The exclusive information's coming out is saying that the Galaxy Z Fold 7 may come with full screen fingerprint sensor. Samsung continues to innovate with its flexible series and is now working on its first rollable device as well. They've released many impressive models with flexible displays, and more or less they're going to have, potentially anyway, a display that has fingerprints all over the screen. So if you want to unlock the phone from anywhere on the display, you'll be able to, not just a small designated area like you can now. I think this is actually pretty cool. Could be very handy too, especially for older folks who have to always know where that under display fingerprint sensor is. This could be a game changer, and I don't know of any other phone that does this, so it could be really cool. I wish I could show you what the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro look like on this video right here. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out, but they look so premium and so nice. I actually like the stem in there. I think it's going to be a nice change. I know it copies a lot of other companies, especially Apple, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to make them look more premium and feel more premium, and I think they're going to get better overall sound and battery life because of that. And I think the controls will probably be better 2, but the information about the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, some of the high key features of it: two-way speaker, which the other ones have had; 360 audio, which the other ones have had; IP57 certification, which I believe the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro had as well; active noise cancellation should be improved, obviously; blade lights, which is, if you see it, it looks pretty cool. I'm down with it. I think it looks really nice. It's basically a light for each earbud to tell you how much battery and the status of it. Ambient sound, so you can hear what's going on around you. This is definitely, besides like the Z Fold 6 and maybe checking out that Ring and maybe the Watch Ultra, these are definitely on my go-to list. If I could only pick two things to take from this launch, it'd be the Z Fold 6 and the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Now, we've heard that the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is going to increase in price to the point where it might be a little bit uncomfortable for that wallet, but it might end up being higher than we thought due to some European price leaking. And this is quite a bit higher. The latest information coming out is that, sure, the Z Fold 6 and Flip 6 will be more expensive than the Fold 5 and Flip 5, but it looks like, at least in Europe, it's almost 300 euros or more versus last year's versions. You can see on top, you got the Z Fold 6 Euro pricing, 2200, 2330, and 2580, which is definitely $300 more on each version of that, which would be 256, 512, and 1 terabyte. And then the Flip 6 is going to be over 100 euros more expensive than last year's versions as well. So we're looking potentially at a massive price increase. Hopefully it won't be for everywhere. Hopefully it'll only be $100 more, which is what we're hearing. But it doesn't hurt to take advantage of the reservation, because the reservation link down below and in the pinned comment is going to allow you to get the best price for the phone, get the best trade-in offers, get the best free stuff as well. Like right off the bat, sometimes you'll get a better price later on, but you won't get the free gifts or the better or as good as a trade-in value, or they won't, sometimes they decrease the price of insurance, and that's all because of that pre-order. So get the reservation done. It's linked down below. Get locked in. If you don't want to go through it, you don't have to. You're just kind of getting in line, and you can always step out of line, no questions asked. You don't have to do anything to get out of line. You just don't buy the phone at the end of the day. But if you haven't done it yet, guys, the reservation is going on right now for the Galaxy Z Fold 6, Flip 6, and all the other devices as well. It's linked down below in the pinned comment and also the description of this video. $50 credit towards the phone. You'll probably get an additional 100 also when you pre-order, but that hasn't been defined just yet. Also, you're gonna get up to $1,500 savings. Could mean 2 phones trade-in, could be 1, we don't fully know, but big time savings on this, so everything's linked down below. Story of the day though is massive, guys. Has to do with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, yesterday I said the display would be curved. It was a little bit of a miscommunication of what I read from Ice Universe. The display might still be flat, but the phone's gonna be curved around the frame. They're not going to be using the squared off design anymore of that Galaxy Note comparison on there. So I want to show you guys what is going on. So this is obviously potentially what it might look like. Not fully, don't get me wrong, this isn't going to be exactly what it looks like, but the curved edges are something that it's most likely going to have at least 100% from Ice Universe, which he said yesterday. But to go in a little more depth about this, in his tweets he's saying the S25 Ultra has a body thickness of 8.4 millimeters, further thinning against the trend, making it the thinnest S Ultra model in recent years. 21 to the 23 Ultra are 8.9, while the 24 is 8.6, so it's 0.2 millimeters thinner than the soonest, newest, thinnest phone, but now it's going to be the thinner phone even versus the S24 Ultra. Samsung's design still doesn't want to compromise with imaging and doesn't want to make it bulky and ugly. I admire Samsung for this, so they're not doing anything crazy with the thickness. They will be thinning it out. To add on to this though, he says S25 Ultra is as round as the Note 7, and I like this change. And I know, going back to the Note 7, I know that was a lot of people's maybe all-time favorite phones when it came out, before it had the incidents with the the explosions and the fire and stuff like that, and the issues with the batteries. But take that away, it was still a lot of people's favorite phone. It had a huge display at the time. I think it was like 5.7 inches, which sounds ridiculously small now, but it had a really big display at the time. And then I even forgot it had curved edges around there because I'm so used to the Note phones having the squared off edges. And the other part that's really weird about this to me is the Galaxy Z Fold 6 will have squared off edges for the first time ever. And then you have the S25 Ultra will have rounded edges just, 4 to 5 months after the release of the Z Fold 6. And I don't get where they're going with this design language. Are they gonna give all the squared off edges now to the Fold line, or is the Fold line gonna revert back to rounded edges next year? It's kind of strange. I assume they're probably gonna differentiate these and give the squared off edges from now and into the future to the Fold line, and then give the rounded edges to the Galaxy S line, especially the Ultra line. Just very interesting stuff. I wonder where they're going with it. The other part though with this is, beyond that, what are they gonna do here? Are they gonna, is that the only change on this? Is it gonna be continually the same kind of phone with just slightly better camera, slightly better specs? Is that, I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're gonna end up doing anything crazy, because I think Ice Universe probably would have mentioned it in terms of the design. And I've said it in many, many videos, having a display on the back of an S25 Ultra would be pretty interesting. But it doesn't look like they're probably gonna do that. I just feel like he would have mentioned that by now, because it would be a really, really big story. Reservation period is still going on. It's linked down below. Take advantage of the offers that Samsung's offered for the Z Fold 6 and Flip 6 and get up to $1,500 in savings and a $50 credit, and potentially winning $5,000 sweepstakes all through Samsung. Without further ado, let's get into the news. Our first and only story of the day has to do with the pink Galaxy Z Fold 6. It's finally been released, a real life image by Evan Blass. I'll link it down below. I can't show the actual image, but I basically color matched the image of a render that's been out, and here it is. It's pretty crazy to think, and we knew there was a pink phone coming out for the Z Fold 6, but when I think about this, I'm actually I'm happy about it, of course, because it's a different color for the Galaxy Z Fold 6, but it's different because you've got this phone that's, let's be honest, a lot of people don't buy this phone. It's not as hot a seller as their 24 series or their cheaper phones. It doesn't sell anywhere near those phones. It doesn't even sell as good as the Flip 6 or Flip 5, but still, they're coming out with a color that's, I would guess most people that buy this phone are guys. If I had to guess, it seems like a guy phone. My wife has one. I don't even know if I know anybody else that's a female that has one. I probably do, I'm just forgetting, but I feel like it's mostly a phone that guys get. And to come out with a pink color is pretty wild. You would think that a lot of people probably wouldn't get the pink color, especially if most guys buy it. I might get the pink color. I think it's a cool, it looks really cool, I think. Especially compared to the gray, which looks nice, but not super exciting. And then you've also get the dark blue, which actually probably looks the best out of all the colors that I've seen. One that can go with everything. But the pink is like, look at me, I'm radical, I'm different. And especially on the folding phone side, it's a really different concept for Samsung to be coming out with a pink phone for a phone that doesn't sell a lot. It's very niche. It's kind of, this is going to be a niche color for this. I just can't imagine, and it's a main color, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I cannot imagine they're going to sell a lot of the pink color, but might have to grab that pink color. It's definitely an interesting take on the colors for the folding phone after using kind of boring, regular, traditional blues and black colors and things like that. They're finally going towards something definitely radically different for this line, and I love it. I think it's a cool way. Send out another color, and who's to say they won't push out more colors as this phone gets older? They might, but they might not. They do sometimes with their other phones. We'll see if they do with this, and if they do, they might come out with some other color. If I had to choose, I would have liked this to be in like a purplish color, The pink is cool, but I would have liked like a light purple. I think that would have been really, really nice. There are two things that officially elude us still about the Galaxy Z Fold 6. We've learned so much about this device. We've learned like basically all the specs about this with the Galaxy Z Fold 3. 12 gigs of RAM, storage units of 256 all the way up to 1 terabyte. We've got the same cameras. We've got 25 watts of charging through the wire, 15 watts through wireless. We've learned it's gonna be the thinnest foldable phone of any foldable phone in the Western world. We've learned it's gonna be the lightest, or one of the lightest, at least in 239 grams. We know the official launch, which is gonna be July 10th. We have our guesses on when the release is gonna be, which would be about 2 weeks after that. But we don't know the nits, and we don't know if there's any water certification. Now, nits. Last one was 1750 nits, which is how bright the display gets. And the Galaxy S24 Ultra got up to 2500 nits, but we don't know about the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Is it gonna be brighter than the Z Fold 5? Because all the previous phones have gotten brighter year over year over year. Or is it gonna stay the same? We don't know. There's literally no information on it. We've heard rumors that it's gonna be brighter, but we don't fully know what the exact nits are, even with all these leaked official specs going out. I would guess it's going to be brighter as well. It's gotta be. It'd be really surprised me if they don't make the display brighter. My guess is it probably won't be as bright as a Galaxy S24 Ultra. My guess is it'll sit somewhere between the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and the S24 Ultra. My guess is it'll probably be around maybe 2200 or 2250 nits of brightness, which is again about 500 nits brighter than the Galaxy Z Fold 5. We also don't know about the water certification. Is it gonna be, again, IPX8, which means it's water resistant up to 6 feet at 30 minutes? Or is it gonna be IP67 or 68, which means it has dust and water resistance, or not? We don't know those two things. It really surprises me, again, with all of these different specs that have been thrown out there. We don't know the nits. We don't know if it's gonna be dust and water resistant or just water resistant like it has been in the past. It surprised me. Why wouldn't we know those things, especially with everything else that's been leaked out? So I think and then to add into some extra here, I won't be surprised if it is dust and water resistant this time around. They didn't change a lot with it physically or internally, so I'm thinking they're doing some of the things behind the scenes, like making the display brighter like they always do. And then one of the bigger things, even though it's kind of under the hood, would be that water certification and dust certification. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. If you want to take advantage of the pre-order that's going on for the reservation, link down below. Check it out. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.